All right, y'all. Welcome back, TC Spiritual Shepherd. Welcome back to the Spiritual Shepherd YouTube channel. Today, we are talking about financial freedom. Now, I do not care how long this one is. You guys need to hear this. A lot of people that I generally work with or I used to work with when I was a server, ultimately, guys, you need to hear this. You need to hear this because you guys are very close and you just need a perception change. I know that you guys have been fucking working hard. I know you guys might even have some investments. You guys might have some equity. You might have some assets. You might have a cultivation of real estate, stocks, or something like this, guys. But I want you guys to really, really get into it that you are far closer and we are going to work on spiritual worth. Spiritual worth. It's connected to self-worth, to mental worth, to how you feel worthy, to how you feel worthy. And I can get into the aspect of what is worthiness, what is true worthiness. It gets into emotional worthiness for the women. Okay. It gets into physical worthiness. Okay. So I really want you guys to really heed my knowledge in this. Okay. Just shut your mouth, listen, don't scroll. Just fucking stay here for just a little bit and really see what I'm saying. Like this shit will blow your fucking mind. Okay. Now, first and foremost, we will get to this one a little bit later, but I want you guys to first know where you stand, and you don't know where you stand. Even when you think you know where you stand, you still don't know where you stand. You don't. So let's get to it. You guys might already started doing some of these things without even knowing where you stand. So let's get into it, guys. Did you know that six figures is only $274 a day? What the fuck? That is so low. That is so low. That I would say that that's relatively still low value. Do you see me? Do you see me yet? Like, can you see that I'm more of that 7, 8, 9 figure being? Okay. Okay. You see what I'm saying? Six figures is only $274 a day. Okay. So let's really get into this, guys. This is for my cheesecake people. This is for the people I used to serve with. Okay. I'm generally on my way out and I'm being a very patient person. I appreciate everything that I've ever learned there. I've ever grown there. I appreciate the wave of people that I've met there, the people that I've cultivated, the friends that I've made. And there's this time to move on. There's this time to change. There's a Kaizen, change for the better. Kaizen, okay? So ultimately, guys, let's really get into this. Six figures is only $274 a day. Well, guess what? On Saturdays, or Fridays, Sundays, Thursdays, Thursday through Sunday, you guys can generally easily make this. Easily make this, guys. Easily. If you guys stop fucking texting, unless you're making money on your phone, if you stop fucking engaging and having all these conversations with a bunch of people who just will hold you back, we're going to get into it deeper, guys. This is fucking nothing. Let's really get into this. Okay, so if you guys just shut up and really like focus on the guest, like really work with the guest, you guys can easily make 300 bucks a night. Easily make 300 bucks a night. The bussers, the servers, the bar backs, the bartenders, the runners, the food runners, all these people will fucking love you because you'll be tipping them out fat as well. But focus on the guest. You focus on what they want. When you focus on what they want, they will come back and you will make money. They will come back and you will make money. If you build it, they will come. Field of Dreams. Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. So ultimately, guys, I've built this. I've built such an audience and such a substantial amount of, online presence. And this online presence really brings forth for you guys to develop. Now, you guys might make 100 bucks a day. You might make 90 bucks a day. You might make 75 bucks a day. Okay, but I want you guys to transform your mind just a little bit. Transform your mind just a little bit. Now, for the servers, the people who are kind of identical to me, I want you guys to understand that even if you make 150 and you cut that, you guys could still do stuff. You could give blood. You could sell your fucking items. You could sell your stuff that no longer resonates with you, and you can transform the whole life, the whole lifestyle, and the whole life, perspective is everything changes. everything changes. Change is the only thing that stays the same. So let's really get into this, guys. If you guys are doing this, say me, I can generally do this every single day, regardless if it's a Monday. If I work a specific period of time, okay, so it's from 1 to 6.5 hours, 1 to 8 hours. Let's just say 1 to 8 hours. We'll keep it easy math. And I make $300. That is millionaire status. The only time that servers are not millionaire status is when you take days off. Every time you take a day off, you are actually halving that. So say you have 4 days on and you make $300 or 250. You make 250 on those 4 days. That's $1,000. Okay. So I want you guys to understand that it's your days off that are hurting you, and the shit that you're spending, the liabilities that you're fucking spending on. You're spending on clothes, you're spending on food, you're spending on people who are liabilities, people who talk shit on you, people who are fucking toxic, people who are gossiping about you, and you're worried about your parties, you're worried about your gatherings, you're worried about this shit. I used to be a partier, I used to do this until all these fucking people generally would try to screw me over. But they'll do it in secret. They'll be a backstabbing fucking bitch. That's what they'll be. So don't fall into that frame. Fall into the mindset where grind for 9 months, grind for fucking a year and a half. Be a fucking boss. You don't have to move up the corporate ladder. You need to move up in the fucking life. You need to move up in this fucking life. That's what you need to do. And I know that this is very, very like in your face vibes. You guys might have turned this off. I don't give a fuck. That's totally fine. Okay. We are not censoring this today. We are not, because this is actually helping you get into the worthiness. Okay. Worthiness, self-worth, meaning that you feel worthy of yourself. You feel confident of your value. How do you build it? You give value. A lot of people are taking value. They want to take value from others. Take. Okay. Think differently. Think about giving value. When you give value, you are inherently implying you are valuable, which is also implying you are worthy. When you are worthy, you have worth. When you have worth, that implies that you have money. When you have money or time or energy or any of these types of worthy values, attention, currency, gold, silver, land, okay, resource, status, fame, so many things, guys, so many things, but you have to give value. It's not just about taking value. When you take value, you are implying something that you don't have value. You need to come out. You need to go outside to receive, to make you feel internally good. But how can you go outside of yourself to make yourself internally good when the internal creates the external? It does not happen. That is energy vampire energy. That is energy vampire energy. So let's break this down even more, guys. The math behind $1 million a year. So let's move it up. Let's add another zero. $1 million a year, 83,333 and 33 cents a month. Okay. You guys are like, that's a lot. $19,000 a week. You're like, that's a lot. That's so much. Okay. Well, fuck, there's people who make 20,000 in a day. Then you're like, oh, 2,000 in a day. You're like, okay, maybe I could do that. Maybe. Okay. 115 an hour for my servers. We have done this more than 50 times. We have done this for more than 50 times. I know it. I've done this more than 200 fucking times. So that means, look, this is a very important part. Do not fucking click off. That means that you've tapped into millionaire energy. You've tapped into millionaire vibration, the high vibration. You guys idolize the millionaire status. You guys idolize this. Let's be a millionaire. But one big thing is you probably fucking spend that too. You probably spend 115 an hour. You probably spend 115 a day. So here's a big thing too. If you are earning, so say you receive $115, from a tip, you got that $100 tip. That's in 1 fucking minute. Yeah, sure, it was an hour, maybe it was 40 minutes of service, or an hour and 10 minutes of service. But think about it, guys. Think about it. If you received 100 in tips, which I've done that multiple times, okay, or $80 tip, Okay. I want you guys to understand you're tapping into that energy, in and out of that energy, in and out of that energy, in and out of that energy. Okay. So, but your ass is taking too many fucking days off, and your biggest valuable, your biggest value, your biggest worth is time and energy because you're young. Time and energy and attention and youth. So, really tap into this. Okay. And it's about not being rich when you're 50. You know way more millionaires who are 50. Be fucking a millionaire when you're in your 20s. Be a millionaire when you're in your early 30s. Be a multimillionaire when you hit 35. That's the fucking lesson. That is the fucking lesson. That is bringing value and then teaching our kids to value themselves and to value others and to bring value to the world through entrepreneurship, not going to somebody else through a corporation, through a dead entity that is really just going to suck you dry. It's going to suck your time dry. If you're trading time for money, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. So if you are trading time for money, what you're to do is trade time for money for as little as possible. Okay. But when you do make those substantial amounts of money, then you generally put that into assets and you cultivate yourself. You enhance yourself. $1.93 a minute. I know your fucking ass does that. I know your fucking ass does that. 3 cents a second. Let's fucking talk about this, guys. I'm screaming. I don't give a fuck. I'm so fucking happy about this. You see that penny on the fucking ground and you dropped it and I picked it up. You see that quarter, you see that nickel that you dropped on the ground and I picked it up, and your fucking lazy ass, which is the example of being fucking lazy, makes you broke. Being a lazy ass is being fucking broke. What is laziness? What do you tie with laziness? What is the mindset of laziness? And you tie that into making or not making $1 million. But I picked up that fucking nickel, or I picked up that, let's say I picked up a nickel. Okay. We'll make it easy math. That's $2 million a year. I just made $2 million a year picking up a fucking nickel. Practically. Okay. Or I picked up a dime. If I pick up a dime in a second, I just reach down and pick up a dime, I am making $3 million a year. But your fucking lazy ass dropped a quarter and I picked that shit up, and you're going to be mad at me because I just reached down and picked up a fucking quarter. That's crazy. That's crazy. Do not envy the man. Do not envy the man who is rich. It is our duty to be rich. It is a sin to be poor. It is a duty of ourselves to be rich. It is a sin to be poor because it implies something, an impoverished mindset, a poverty mindset. You guys heard that quote before. It is a duty. It is our duty to be rich and to pass down or pass up generational wealth. It is a sin to be poor. And when you look at it as a sin to be poor, most of you guys been sinning. Most have been sinning. And then you say, okay, well, what are some of, and then if you think about it, spending, this is just making, earning, receiving, expanding, building, cultivating, investing. Okay. So if you guys really think about it, you guys might make $2 in a tip real quick. Why are you fucking mad? You're still tapping into that energy, in and out of the energy. The point is to not let go of the energy, to stay tapped into the energy. Continuously be tapped into the energy. And as you're continuously tapped into the energy, you will start to get higher up. You'll start to get higher up. You guys are on the lower aspect right here. So you guys are on the lower aspect of the pyramid of tapping into the $1 million a year. So you can make the $115 an hour sometimes. You guys easily can make $2 a minute. You can make 3 cents a second. Sometimes you might make that 3K a day. And then you'll be like, oh, hell yeah, I succeeded. So it's about realizing it's the same thing. It's the same thing. The reason why is you're generally too ungrateful when you do that. So someone tips you $2 and then you just be like, all right, I'm going to go buy a fucking sandwich. Yeah, inflation. Yeah, this bullshit. We fucking get it. Are you going to focus? Are you going to focus on negativity or are you going to focus on positivity? There is more debt. There is 60% debt. That's crazy. That means that most people don't even own their own lives. They are completely broke and owe people. They owe someone else. The greatest thing that we could do is own our own lives. Own your own, or you'll never be free. As Hove said, own your own or you'll never be free. Own your own. Okay. Run your run. Cultivate what you can cultivate. Build the people around you. And tap into this energy. See, and the thing is most people are ungrateful. Gratitude implies that you have. When you're ungrateful, you are implying that you don't fucking have, and then you're continuously ungrateful. Self-perpetuating cycles, self-fulfilling prophecies. When you say I can, you can. When you say you can't, you can't. Henry Ford, Will Smith, whatever quote you've read. But it's the same thing, guys. $274 a day. So do you really know where you stand? Did you know that if you pick up a nickel, you're making $2 million? Did you know if you pick up a nickel, you're making $2 million? Did you know? But you heard that Bill Gates one, oh, if he bends down, he actually makes less money than he's earning right now. It's like, who fucking cares? Still making money. And then you guys also might be like, oh, it's not all about money, TC. Clearly you don't know me because it's all about spirituality, but whatever. So do you really know where you stand? Do you really know where you stand? And so you need to start realizing that as you start to attract, if you're attracting this, you're attracting this. You're attracting this. So $1 million is fucking little. It's a little amount of money. $10 million is a little amount of money. $10 million is now like $2 million 10 years ago. So you have to understand, like, cultivating it, understand what inflation is. Okay. So if you're tapping into the energy, the key is to stay tapped into the energy, stay in that frequency. And it's by creating value. It's by giving value. This is a valuable lesson for you guys. You guys can heed this knowledge, and it's down to earth because I know your ass can make three cents a second. And here's the big thing. Instead of thinking, I'm going to take 3 cents a second. I'm going to take $1.93 a minute. I'm going to take $1.15 an hour. Give twice that. Give 6 cents a second. Which this is exactly what I'm doing. I know my value. I know the words that my words are multi-millions, multi-billions. I am a multi-trillionaire, by the way. We all are. Okay. We're 1 in 400 trillion to exist. And then if you understand the rarities of life, if you understand the rarities of finance, the rarities of time, the rarities of physics, the rarities of metaphysics, the rarity of energy, the rarity of this spirituality, the rarity of how all these different systems work, the Federal Reserve, all these corporations, the IRS, when you understand these different things, knowledge is power, but wisdom is greater. Knowledge is accumulating, wisdom is letting go. So as you realize this, you guys inherently give significantly more value. So every second I'm tapped into $1 million energy. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time before I'm a multimillionaire, before I make $400 billion. It's not that difficult. It's really not that difficult. Most people won't fucking do it. Most people have checked out. Most people want to jack off. Most people want to do some bullshit. Most people want to hurt themselves. Most people want to hurt others. Most people want to eat bad. Most people don't have discipline. Most people aren't disciples. But then they'll go to church and they'll say, I'm sorry, but I'm sorry that I drank on Saturn's day, on Satan's day. I'm sorry that I ate like a glutton on Saturn's day. I'm sorry. But how about you just do it right so then you don't have to repent? You just do it correctly so you don't have to repent. You live abundantly. You give abundantly. You live in the law of attraction. Isn't this what Joel Osteen talks about? I know some people are all off by him. Some are on by him, whatever. Okay. I know this, or Reverend Ike. You guys may or may not like Reverend Ike, but check them out. They really are cultivating. You are inherently a valuable being. You are very inherently valuable. Okay. So start to give $1 million a year. Start to give that, and you will imply that you are worth that. But generally, you might sabotage yourself through self-sabotaging tendencies, selfish self-sabotage. You might be selfish self-sabotaging yourself. But what if you were to selflessly self-serve yourself in the way that you are selflessly self-caring for yourself, where you are inherently giving such a powerful amount of value to the public, so then the public rewards you and inherently gives you a substantial amount of money. This is the ease of this, guys. This is truly the ease of this. You make 3 cents a second and give 3 cents a second. Give $1, give $2 a minute. Just give $2 a minute of your energy. Money's nothing. Money's not, I mean, if you guys know my spiritual being, if you know my energetic being, if you know my time and how I understand time and how I understand different spiritualities and frequencies of wavelengths of harmonics and melodies. If you guys understand this, I mean, dude, it's paper. It's paper. It helps the fire get hotter. That's what it is. But the thing is that generally you might be pouring fucking water or acid on your fires. You might be, you might be soaking your own flame. Cut off the toxic root. Cut off the toxic fruit, and sometimes you don't have to cut off the toxic fruit. Sometimes you just have to outgrow them. Now, to conclude this, guys, let's give you guys something really, really cool. An eagle will chill on a branch and it won't do anything. One of its foes is the crow. The crow will continuously pecker at it and try to claw at it and get its talons and try to scratch it and everything. The eagle won't do anything. Stays stoic. Stays completely masculine, stays in frame, stays peaceful, okay? What it fucking does is once it gathers enough crows, it actually starts to fly up, and the crows will continuously try to pecker at it. It'll continuously fly up, continuously fly up. It'll fly up out of the frame. It'll get so high. The eagle will get so high, it will soar so high that the crow actually cannot breathe and it will lack oxygen. It will stop breathing and it will fall. It will pass out. It will actually be able to not breathe and it will fall to the ground. And the eagle literally will still stay soaring and it still beat it. Why? Because it chose to raise its vibration. It chose to focus on the positive and not on the negative. And it actually said the negative will take care of itself. The bad fruit will take care of itself. The bad fruit is fertilizer for my good tree. Let me say it again for the people in the back. The bad fruit of your life is the fertilizer for the goodness in your tree. They wanted to bury me, but they didn't realize I was a seed. They didn't realize that I was a bamboo tree when they said, oh, hey, guess what? This man, he ain't growing. It's taken him 5 years to grow, 10 years to grow. Oh, but then I sprouted faster than everybody else. That's the joy of the bamboo tree. That is the money tree. That is the cultivation. I'm a monstera. Okay, you guys need to understand this, guys. You need to understand that there is the cultivation of, yeah, they might have tried to bury me. They might have tried to drown me after they buried me, but they didn't realize I was a seed. They actually helped me grow. The bad fruit was fertilizer and actually gave the roots nutrients. It gave my roots nutrients. It put my lower vibrations in check. It just fed that. And then I just transmuted the lower vibrations and the negativity into fuel for positive vibrations. It's not that difficult, guys. So this is the math of being $1 million a year. I'm not going to have this go too long. If you guys want more videos like this, I go in depth in my entire course on this and spirituality and everything. So check out my course, guys, or check out my bookstore. Reach out, leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. If you guys like videos like this, make sure that you guys give $2 minutes of $2 a minute, $2 a minute of value a day, $2 a minute of value a day. 222. It's not that difficult, guys. Peace, much love. Namaste. Talk to you guys soon, okay? Peace.